Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com, and thank you so much for joining me today for another Stampin' Up! Tutorial. So I'm so excited about today's project because it features one of my favorite suites in the new Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. So if you turn in your catalog to page 30 and 31, you'll see this 2-page suite spread. This is for the coffee break suite. I love this entire suite, and we're going to use a lot of the products from within this suite today. So we're using the Coffee Cafe bundle, which is available for this suite. And when you do a bundle, you actually save 10%. So for this particular bundle, you get the stamp set as well as the coffee cup framelit dies. So the stamp set, let me just show you, is a photopolymer stamp set, and the images are really a lot larger than you might expect. But if you have a copy of the catalog, these images that you see here printed in the catalog are the actual size of the images on the stamp set. So you can see if I lay down my stamp set, it lines up perfectly. This cup is the exact size. So that's one of the great things about our catalog is the images that are within the catalog are the size of the actual stamp sets, and if it's not the exact size, it'll tell you beneath the stamp set that this is either magnified or that this has been reduced, you know, to better fit in the catalog. So it's a really cool feature about our catalogs. If you do not have one of these amazing catalogs, all you have to do to get a free catalog from me is simply place an order in my online Stampin' Up! Store. It does not matter what size your order is, and I will send one of these to you completely free. You don't have to worry about paying for the cost of the catalog or shipping. It will be completely free from me. So we're also going to use today in our project some of the Coffee Break Designer Series paper, as well as this Soft Sky 3/8 inch classic weave ribbon. So here's the project that we're going to make today. We're going to make a similar version of this same project, just changing up the colors and a couple of other things, but this is a single K-cup holder. I absolutely love this project, and when I first saw the coffee break bundle in the catalog, I knew I wanted to make this. And I just haven't had the chance to break out the stamp set and everything. And so I finally got the chance to do it, and I just knew I wanted this to be my very first project with that suite. So I absolutely love how this turned out, and this is actually kind of a masculine version that I created. So in addition to the coffee break suite, I added to this the treat bag thinlet dies. So you get a lot of different thinlets in this set, but I used these stars here and then also this star image and added that to the coffee break suite, and I love how this turned out. So one thing that I wanted to share with you about today's project is that you can actually get 2 of these single K-cup holders out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock, which I thought was pretty cool. So for the wrap that goes around, the scalloped wrap that goes around our little K-cup holder box, you'll get 2 of those out of one sheet, and these are 2 inches by 11 inch strips. Then for the little box base that we're going to make, you can also get 2 of those, and these are cut down to 3 15/16. So it's a square, so it's 3 15/16. That's hard to say. And then you've got 2 scrap pieces left, and you could actually figure out a way to incorporate these 2 pieces back into the project so that you don't have any scrap. But I'm not using these 2 pieces. I'm only going to be using one of these and one of this piece here in the video today. All right, so as I mentioned, you're going to need the 2 pieces of cardstock. So this is Soft Sky cardstock, and again, this long strip is cut down to 2 inches, actually just a hair shy of 2 inches, so that we can fit it in the scallop tag topper punch, but 2 inches by 11 inches, and then this is 3 15/16 of an inch square. Okay, and I will have a ruler over on today's coordinating blog post that shows you how to measure 15/16, because I know 16ths and 8ths can be challenging on a ruler. Okay, so to score our cardstock today, I'm using my Stampin' trimmer. Love this tool. So you've got 2 blades. I've shown you guys this before. The dark blade is your cutting blade. We're going to move that out of the way. We don't want to accidentally cut. The lighter blade is your scoring blade, so that's the one we're going to use. And what we're going to do is take the square piece, and we're going to slide this in, and I'm going to slide it all the way over to the 1 inch mark that's to the right of my scoring blade, and I'm going to score this piece at 1 inch on all 4 sides. Now, before we bring in our long strip, you're going to want to pull out the extender arm that comes out of your trimmer. I love that we can extend the trimmer to get more use out of it. We're gonna slip this piece of cardstock right in, and we're gonna score it first at 4.5 inches. And then we're gonna slide down to the 6.5 inch mark right about there and score again, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna bring in my bone folder and go ahead and give these score marks a nice tight crease here. I'll do the same thing. This piece, let me line that up a little better. Okay, so now for my base, I've got my paper snips here, and I'm just going to cut up these score lines next to my little square flaps. I'm going to cut up the score line to the 1 inch score line that we made, and I'm going to kind of snip in to the side there, snip over here, and then I'm also going to snip right there. And this is just going to help the box to fold together a little bit better. So I'm just going to rotate and do this to all 4 of these little square flaps. All right, so I've got all of those sides cut and ready to go. So now I'm just going to add some fast views here and to these little tabs on the end, and I'm just going to start building up my box. So you're just going to tuck your tabs in, line up your sides, really easy to do. So now I'm going to bring in my scallop tag topper punch, and I'm just going to slide my 2 inch strip in and punch, okay? And then I'm going to slide it around and punch this side as well. Okay, so now we've got those ends ready to go. So I've got a few pieces of designer series paper already cut down, ready to adhere to my holder. So these 2 pieces right here are cut to 1 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and then these pieces are cut at 3 1/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. So I'm just going to bring in my fast views, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere these little pieces on. So I'm just adding the smaller piece to the sides of my box that are going to show once my K-cup is in there. I wanted to have a little decoration there on the sides. Okay, so I've got that on there, so cute. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and add these pieces onto the front and back of my holder. Get that lined up. Okay, there we go. All right, so I've got my Stampin' Up! Piercing mat here and a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to stamp the Thanks a Latte from the Coffee Cafe stamp set in Pear Pizzazz ink, and I just found that using my piercing mat helped me to get a better impression. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my magnetic platform ready to go through my Big Shot, and doing it this way will make it easier so that I can cut everything at once. So in the designer series paper in this suite, you have this sheet of designer series paper that coordinates with the framelits, and you're able to take this tiny little coffee cup and you can actually line this cup up and die cut these little cups out, which I just thought was so cute. So what I have done is I've gone ahead and cut one of those little cups out, and I'm just going to lay this framelit on top, and hopefully my magnetic platform will work out okay. All right, so there's, whoopsies. Okay, I think I've got that lined up. Then I'm gonna bring in my Thanks a Latte that we just stamped. I'm gonna get this little oval shape here so that we can cut that out. Then from the treat bag Thinlet dies, I'm going to take out the heart and then also this little heart border. I've cut down some gold foil paper to the size of this piece here because this heart piece doesn't actually cut out the entire piece. All it die cuts are the hearts. So I went ahead and cut a piece of foil to the exact size that I needed. And then I've also got a piece of crumb cake here, and that is for my heart. So let's put a cutting plate on top, and I'm going to run this through my Big Shot. All right, so I want to go ahead and start getting this assembled. So I'm going to take this little banner piece, or I'm not sure what you would call this. I'm going to lay it across my heart and just staple it down here at the bottom so that that's adhered on. And then my cup is actually going to go on sort of at an angle like that, and it will cover up that staple, and then I'm going to add on the thanks a latte. So let's see. So what I'm going to do is on the back of my little coffee cup here, I'm just going to add one dimensional and just pop that cup. I'll just pop it on right about there. Then for my thanks a latte, I'm going to add a glue dot to the left corner there. And then I'll just pop that on. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a couple of dimensionals to the back of my heart. And then we'll add this on, let's see. We'll add that on right about there. Okay, isn't that so cute? I just love how that looks. So cute. Okay, so next we're going to get our box added in, and you want to make sure you've got your designer paper facing out to the open side of our holder. So to add that in, you could use fast fuse. I'm gonna go ahead and use tear and tape. I just found that it held really, really well. The only thing you have to be careful of is make sure that you have your box exactly where you want it before you put it down, because this tape is really, really strong. All right, so I've gone ahead and added the base here into my little holder. And now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and add my K-cup right in there, line up the scalloped top here, line that up, and then I've got one of our gold binder clips. I'm just gonna add that on to kind of hold that in place while I add my ribbon on. Okay, so I've got some of our soft sky classic weave ribbon here. I've just cut off a little bit of that. I am going to pull this up through that little hole. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is take this little binder clip and slide it up so that it holds my ribbon still. And now I've got some of our Whisper White baker's twine, and I'm just going to wrap that around my ribbon, tie that in a knot, and then a simple bow. All right, so now that I've got that bow started, I'm just going to pull the tails here to get my loops how I want them. Okay, I think that looks pretty cute actually, just like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to trim these ends and also trim the ends here of my ribbon. All right, and that finishes this adorable little K-cup holder, and you can see from the side kind of creates this really nice sort of teardrop look once you've got the K-cup in there, because it sort of pushes out the holder a little bit, but I love how that looks. I think it's so cute. Okay, so I've just got my original holder here. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. You can find all of the measurements for today's project as well as all of the supplies that I used over on today's coordinating blog post. I have linked to that post just below the video in the description notes. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I will speak to you again very soon. Bye now.